Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com on the play for our final match of our Lukka Supplies League. And we have 0 lands, so we will mulligan that, otherwise yeah. And we have 1 mountain and a bunch of green sources. That's tough, man. Not like this deck, not like this. Going for the 3-2 dream right now and mulling the 5 on the play. Is there any world in which we want to keep this? If this was a stomping ground, it would be a snap keep. We could cycle, hope to hit the green source. Man, this is painful. Okay, definitely keeping. Emrakul to the bottom. Footfall Crater to the bottom. We will start with the Hierarch. Whew, this is how it feels a lot of times when you think you're running hot or you've had come off a good match win to going for the big 3-2 dream, and you end up mulling to 5 on your opening hand of the next game or the next match. So Bitter Reunion gets us, we would have to discard something that we want. So we will first Oath of Nissa. Maybe find a Lukka. That would be our best right now. Ragavan's always good. Hierarch's always good. Take the Ragavan. Play the Stomping Ground. I mean, honestly, I feel like anything we play is going to get killed. That looks like we're up against Izzet Murktide again for the second, and Subtlety. Yep, Izzet Murktide. I mean, we'll put it on the top. And then next turn, play the Hierarch and the Ragavan. Back-to-back Izzet Murktide matches. Oh boy, so excited. Guess I shouldn't spoil the videos in case you're watching this first for some reason. So I won't say what happened, although you know we're 2-2 right now. Going for the 3-2 dream. Look, when you're playing the jank like we're playing, 3-2 is definitely a win. They're gonna Lightning Bolt. No, not even shocked. I'll say that. Next turn will be the, if all things go as they plan, Expressive Iteration turn. You get into Lightning Bolt and a land. Oh, they already have the land. There is the Expressive Iteration. A little bit of a misplay by our opponent by playing the land first, I would say. Guess they're about to find out. I mean, usually with Expressive Iteration, it doesn't even matter. They'll probably get the Bolt, kill the Ragavan. We will draw something. What would we want to draw? I mean, our best draw, honestly, would be an Emrakul, so we could discard it to this Bitter Reunion, because we really want our lands, and we really want creatures, and we want the Lukka. So right now, I guess if we draw a land, we'll discard it, because, yeah, there's Unholy Heat. Kill the Ragavan. Here they have Delirium. There's our land. We're going to go ahead and discard it to the Bitter Reunion to try to, assuming we'll hit another land and something else. Not even hitting another land. So rather than try to get in for that 1 damage, we're going to go ahead and keep our Oath. There's the Lukka. Unfortunately, we do not have like I said, we had to discard the land to draw. Thought we'd hit another land. We did not. We do have good news, though. We have the Lukka. We are 2 lands away from casting it. Or 1 Ragavan hits and a land away. So I suppose if we draw a land and they tap down in a perfect world, they won't play the Murktide to block. And there's the Murktide. Oh man. Okay, 8/8 seems alright. One card away from having Delirium again. Okay, so there's a land. That's good. Unfortunately, they have an 8/8, so we will not be attacking. I guess there is a world where the Tashana Tidebinder are fetch land. I don't know. Can they do that? I can't remember. I think they can, but I could be wrong. So we're going to do this now because it's just a better safe than sorry. I'd have to go back and read the card. I don't feel like it. Now, what are the chances we hit a land? Well, we will block their Ragavan with our Ragavan. And hope they don't kill our Mana Dork. No. What are the chances? What we need is a land, and then not to have any counter magic. So, land. It is a land that puts us to 2. Maybe I should have been more specific, deck. Okay. Yes, we'll pay the 2. And then they already know about the Lukka, so it's not like it's a secret. See, get the counter magic out. And we'll scoop it up. Alright, well, mull to 5. Doesn't feel great. This opponent played around Blood Moon a little bit. So as usual, the One Ring comes out. We will bring in the Veil of Summers. Take out one of those. Bring in one of these. Take out. We'll just run it like that. I mean, that's disappointing. Mull to 5 with just an unplayable hand both times. 0 land into 1 land. Mountain with 3 Mana Dorks and a Fable would have. I mean, again, if that had been a stomping ground. Okay, well, no sense living in the past. We'll see if we can get game number 2. Hope for a good opening 7. And it is a terrible opening 7. Again, a 1-lander with a mountain when we have a Mana Dork, which would probably die anyway. Multiple ways of giving haste and the Emrakul in hand. So we kind of couldn't, other than having 0 lands in hand, couldn't really expect to see a worse hand. Alright, this is much better. So we have the Lukka, which is always good to see. We have the Mana Dork that will probably die, but otherwise we have a way to dig for more Mana Dorks and to give haste, plus the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So yeah, this is a much better looking hand. Fetch Shock. Hierarch. If it lives, we have a turn. To Fable. If it dies, we can maybe Bitter Reunion and pitch the Fable to dig for some answers, because I think we're going to pitch this land. Another mulligan, man. Brutal. Brutal. I mean, these small sample sizes where I only get to play a league here or there with each deck, sometimes this is how it goes. We're really hoping that our opponent decides to play like Dragon's Rage Sandler instead of because we want this Fable to resolve. Or Ragavan. How about a Ragavan? That's fine. So now we want to land. Oh, another Hierarch. Or not, yeah. So I think what we'll do, still hoping for a Fable next turn. And this is our game plan, right? I mean, what are we digging for with Bitter Reunion? Lands and creatures. Opponent 6 cards in hand. Yep. Nope. I got Ragavan now. Yep. Sounds about right. Alright, well, we did hit our 3rd land on time, so that's nice. Shocker cells is not nice. Let's see if they have the Force of Negation. Why not, opponent? Might as well have it all. One thing I've learned about Izzet is they seem to always have it. I must be thinking, do they force or do they not force? Save the force for the Lukka dude. They almost always have it, whether it's they need 2 answers, like when I played my 8/8 Murktide. Oh, do we take the hit? I mean, the Goblin token gets us closer to Lukka, but it also, we can't sack it to Lukka. So I think we'll just block. I don't want to give my opponent any more mana. We need them to tap down if we ever have a chance. And giving them treasure tokens just lets them do hold up counter magic for way too long or too frequently. Murktide, I imagine. Maybe not. So now we're at, man, we need all of our things. This is painful. We're looking for lands. We like the lightning bolt, but we need lands and creatures. So the haste is good, but we're going to get rid of it in hopes of lands and creatures. Well, there's the Ragavan. We could dash it in. They'll probably just counter it. But that's okay. Hopefully that means the Lukka will stick. So dashing it in does force our opponent to use a counter spell. I mean, they could bolt it, to be fair. But let's say they, yeah, I was going to say it forces them to counter versus bolt it, but not really. I mean, they're not going to just risk a draw and hope to draw the bolt if they didn't have it in their hand. They were going to counter it no matter what. The reason why I did that is even if we draw a land, which we just did, what I'm hoping for is everything going exactly as I planned. And running out this Lukka and sacking this to get the Emrakul. I'm sure our opponent doesn't have another counterspell with those 2 cards. Okay, subtlety. Well, I mean, better than a counterspell. All right. I mean, they had to have something in those 2 cards. Now let's just hope they don't find the counterspell in the meantime. Well, that's no fun. They found an unholy heat. And a Murktide. Well, talk about running hot. They had 1 card in hand, so it was either the Unholy Heat or the Murktide. They drew one of them. What can you say? Better be lucky than good. But Izzet always seems to be lucky. And next turn we're just dead, basically. I mean, we'll run out the Lukka and dig, force them to take a turn off to kill it. Ragavan, and the thing is, we can only cast it when, the worst part is we can only cast it if we control a Lukka Planeswalker. That might have been a mistake. We might have wanted to just let them, I mean, we're just dead. That's all there is to it. At this point, yeah, I mean, we can unbolt this, stay alive 1 more turn. I'm surprised our opponent didn't draw the lightning bolt that they're running that hot, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just the deck is well built, playing nothing but cheap threats and answers, and of course it's going to seem like it's always running hot. but having the subtlety into Unholy Heat Murktide draws brutal. Just put the game away. I mean, I don't think there's a single draw that gets us out of this. Wooded Foothills, go out on our own terms. Well, before I do that, let me just finish talking about this match. Pretty brutal match. We just took down Izzet Murktide in the previous match, only to get absolutely crushed in this one. Mull to 5, that, just trying to cobble together something with a 5-card hand. Opponent has, per usual, answers after answers. Mull to 6 this game. Thought we might get there a little bit, but opponent's ready. Drew really well. They're down to just 1 card in hand. We're going to draw our Lukka with a Kiki, whatever, from the backside of Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and they either drew the Unholy Heat to kill it or the Murktide. If they didn't draw the Unholy Heat, we could have done the Lukka and Emrakul. It wouldn't matter if they had the Murktide out or not. Which is what I think they had, because, yeah, I don't know, maybe not. It's hard to say. Either way, rough game, rough match. There goes our 3-2 dream. Thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com.